Whoa.
It's the 2023 One Chip Challenge.
Whiff.
It smells f***ed. It's
I'm
Carolina.
not doing this.
It's Carolina Reaper and Naga Viper pepper.
I'm going for it.
My
mouth is watering.
Don't fall prey to the Reaper, it says.
Can I go?
I mean, I suppose.
Bob Scheuneman.
Sitting in the center seat on episode 77, I believe.
Yes, 77.
We've got some things to get into, but we'll get into it. Marquise, before the camera and lights heated up, Marquise was discussing how he was an interesting person, and I want to hear, like, what's the most interesting thing that you've done this week?
This week?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's
Or in
like
the
being put
coming
on.
days.
I probably went 120 on the highway.
Really?
What?
You what?
Yeah.
Where'd you go 120?
What's that? Fucking. What's the highways off at 23?
I just want to know where I can pull off going 120 because
Nowhere.
I always want to drive fast, but I always feel like there's going to be a cop like sticking out like the next turn or any curve. I'm going to see some cop, and he's just going to pull me over and fuck.
I think that'll be the time that I shit myself.
Yeah. Trust me when I say, don't go 120.
I mean, well, this is a story that we could get into that Marquise doesn't know about, and you don't know too many details because you worry too much and freak out. But I got pulled over the other day.
Oh no, not when you met with me.
It was not. No, it wasn't that night. That
Oh.
would have been an issue.
I was worried about that.
Really?
Yeah.
I was fine.
Tell me more.
Well, we'll get into it. So, I was driving home from work, I believe, and I think I was like on the way to get lunch.
Is this night? Oh, lunch.
This was like during the day. Yeah.
Okay.
I was having lunch at like 2 a.m. No, this was at like 4, and I was driving on the highway, and they had some like construction shit going on one of the far right lanes, and so I'm like driving, and it was one of those highways where it goes from like 70 or 65 down to 55 because of construction. So
I think it's even slower with construction.
well, yeah, if it's like really bad construction, they'll really slow it down. But this was like, it was like 55.
And double fines in a construction zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was going, I thought the speed limit was 65. So I was going like 71. And I see the state trooper, and he was like outside of his car, I think. I think he had like the little speed gun out.
Okay.
Which I've been seeing a lot more of lately. I don't know why that is, but it's always funny seeing the cops like pulled over and they've got like a gun just aimed at the street.
I've always heard that they have to meet like a certain quota at certain times, though.
I wonder if is it like a quota of just pulling over people and putting out tickets in general, or do they have like they have to get a certain amount of speeding tickets, a certain amount of DUIs, a certain amount of like are the charges all in one category, or is it like, I mean, I don't know.
Well, that's something to look up. I don't really know on that detail, but
yeah. So I was going like 71, and I see the state trooper, and for some reason I wasn't worried about him because typically whenever I see a cop, I get like super careful. But I thought I was going to speed limit, so I just kept going, and I pass him, and a little time passes, and then I look back, and he was like, he had flicked his lights on, but I had gotten further, like far enough away from him that when he flicked his lights on, I didn't think that they were for me at all.
Okay.
So I kept driving, and then he kept getting closer, and cars were like moving out of his way, and he was in my lane. And then so I was like, all right, well, I still didn't think he was for me, but I was like, I'll move out of his way. So I pulled over to the side of the road, and then he pulls over with me, and I was like, oh shit. So I didn't really have time to worry too much about it, and
I didn't hide the drugs and everything?
I had nothing on me, and I had nothing to worry about because I was like, I haven't really done anything.
Yeah.
And so he pulls up, and he was pretty nice. He walks up, and he's like, hey, do you know why I pulled you over, and I was like, I'm actually not sure. I didn't even think that you had your lights on for me, so I'm sorry for like not stopping sooner.
Damn, you should have stripped and ran out and did a circle around the car.
Is this why you pulled me over? Is this because I'm naked? No, so he's talking to me, and he's like, yeah, you were going 71 in a 55, and I was like, oh, it's 55 here, and then I was about to say it says 65 on my like Apple CarPlay, but then I looked down and it was like said 55.
Oh fuck, wrong time.
It'll be wrong a lot of the times.
Yeah,
And of course this time it was like right and like sitting right
You
on
know,
the screen.
you never admit to doing anything wrong. When they pull you over, and do you know why I pulled you over? Of
Yeah,
course
no,
not.
I
No, I have no idea.
I never would.
I was naked.
There was one time that I've admitted to doing something wrong because I wanted to avoid any other drama and bullshit. And if I was like,
How did that work?
I was like, if I say I did this, then they'll be like, yeah, that's what you did. And then they'll stop thinking about
You're
any
a
other
good boy. You just get a slap on the wrist and you're on with the day.
No, I was like, well, because the thing was, there was a one time I got pulled over and it was because these cops saw me like swerve. And so I didn't want I was completely sober, but I didn't want them to think that I wasn't sober and that I swerved for some other reason.
Yeah.
So I straight up was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I was like looking on my phone.
Oh, that's horrible.
I know what I'll get for that. And I was like, I'll just take that on the
Okay.
chin instead of having them do this whole thing of like, oh, can you step out of the car and walk in a line and follow my cock in a line or whatever.
You should have probably just said you were trying to turn up your radio. That'd probably be the best.
Well, I was
bet.
like, I had to put in directions, and it was in like a little neighborhood. So
Oh,
I was,
okay.
Like, driving slow, but my car like swerved like 3 times, and this cop saw all of it, and they were like, "What's wrong with you?"
I'm fucking zooted.
That ended up being fine. But anyway, this cop is like, yeah, you were going 71 and a 55, and is there a reason why you don't have your seatbelt on? And I was like,
Oh fuck, they get you with that shit.
yeah, it's because I was just like getting in and out of my car because I had stopped to get gas and then I stopped to get food. I just like made a bunch of bullshit up, and I was like, so I have only been in the car for like a few minutes, so I just haven't like put my seatbelt back on. And he was like, all right, well, can I get your ID? And he takes my ID, and long story short, he was like, all right, well, I'm going to just let you off on the speeding ticket and give you a warning, but I'll have to give you a citation for not wearing your seatbelt.
That's $100 minimum, ain't it?
I know, it's like $30-$40.
What? Mine was a fucking $100.
I don't know. I looked.
I was
it up
in the
recently.
passenger.
In Ohio. It's cheaper as a passenger.
Where's
You
the ticket?
You had to have done something else.
Well, they thought I was skipping
Maybe it's because you
school.
were running around the car naked.
Oh yeah, that too. But look, that does not matter. I wasn't even skipping school. We had the day off, and that's the fucked part. And then he pulled the seatbelt thing, which is fuck.
I think it's stupid.
Why
Like
not just buckle your seatbelt?
I always buckle my seatbelt, and we get into like.
You ever
these
leave your
speed
zipper
rivers.
down on accident?
Never.
Yeah, you do. I've caught you doing it a couple times. Sometimes you'll accidentally leave the door open when you're taking a massive shit. But see, mistakes happen. But anyway,
But anyway, Bob.
I think that the seatbelt stuff is kind of dumb because it's just you're not going to hurt somebody with your flying body if you fly out the car. You're just going to make a mess, and then they'll have to clean it up. But
And now you get to pay a ticket.
it's like $30-$40. I just googled it. It's not a big deal.
And then when you don't pay it,
I am going to pay it.
Speaking of Googling something, I Googled up how the quotas work. So they require police officers to issue a particular number of citations and make a certain number of arrests.
Okay, so it's just like arrests in general. Yeah, I think that's stupid too because they're trying to get the police to not be lazy and just sit on their ass and not stop crimes, but then you get people at the end of the month who are just looking for anything to get people for, and it distracts them from actual like shitty crimes that have victims.
Yeah.
So Bob, why is it that you think you're on the show right now?
I have no clue.
Well,
Really?
if
No
you had
idea?
to guess. Humor me.
You were desperate for content.
I'm not desperate. Anyway, I have content just
You actually
falling
have
out of me.
content waiting, don't you?
content waiting. I mean, I have a couple ideas.
You're supposed to get butt naked.
I had a couple. What is it with you and getting naked today? What's going on?
Before the camera started, that's what I thought was happening.
You wanted to get naked?
No, not really.
I don't think YouTube would really appreciate that too much. We might be able to get away with that on Twitter, but they.
You have an OnlyFans?
Do you have OnlyFans, Dad?
Yeah.
Who are you subscribed to?
Yeah, Bob.
No. Oh, I thought you meant, did I have an OnlyFans?
Well, you could have an OnlyFans account as like a customer, or you could have an OnlyFans account as
It's
like
called
a
Big
creator.
Johnson.
Okay, what do you think?
Or watch out for Johnson.
I think I would have an OnlyFans account.
I wouldn't put it past you, like if Miley Cyrus had like a OnlyFans.
That's true.
I wonder if she does have an OnlyFans.
She doesn't need one because she's not that bashful.
Yeah, I mean, but like you can make such insane money being a celebrity and having an OnlyFans. Like, do you know?
I think she has enough money.
Do you know about the girl who? Well, first of all, do you know about the Catch Me Outside girl?
Yeah.
No.
And so,
Oh, yeah. Didn't she make like $1 million off or something?
well,
I heard
I was
something.
gonna
about
get to that. So this girl is like, she got viral, famous, whatever you want to call it, because she went on Dr. Phil and like threatened to fight everybody on there.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, "Catch me outside."
Oh, yeah. Everybody's seen that.
Yeah. So then she like started a little rap career, and you say what you want about that.
She
Whatever.
actually has some hits.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not a huge fan.
No.
But no, she was able
She made a
to.
ton of money though in like one day
She was able to
when she turned
take
18.
Yeah, I was. You guys keep jumping forward. I was just explaining, like she was able to take her moment on Dr. Phil and turn it into somewhat of a career in music or whatever. And then because of her music career, she was able to start doing other things. And one of those other things that she did was when, like, she created an OnlyFans account like the day before she turned 18, which means like you're just barely legal. And so she took advantage of that, and I don't know how she got everybody to like know about it, but I think she like, I don't know, maybe
Made a
did
song or something?
No, I think she like mentioned it in like a live stream or something, or it was like promoting it the week before. And so when she finally turned 18, she fucking made so much money off of a whole lot of, it's tempting to say creepy people, but it's not creepy, but at the same time, it's like,
I saw clips of her on the Dr. Phil thing. Yeah, she's kind of unpleasant.
yeah, I mean, she's a little wild. I mean, that was that.
I mean,
like,
she's just a smart aleck and in trying to be all street.
I mean, yeah, she acted like a little hood rat, but at the same time, I can't imagine that I, at the age of like 16, would have been acting the greatest if I was brought into Dr. Phil by my parents to
What was it for, though? Do
publicly
you
shit
know?
on me. Why was she on Dr. Phil?
Yeah.
Just being an idiot. I mean, doing shit probably doing shit that like I did. I don't know.
She
like
was
skipping
just
school and
doing
smoking
drugs,
weed.
not staying at home, and
I think she had like a bunch of boyfriends come over and like have an orgy or something. I don't know. She just was up to no good, getting into mischief.
she was raising hell.
But how do you feel about Dr. Phil, Dad?
Well, I mean, he's okay.
I like how he talks.
I mean, sometimes he has some good stuff, but it's kind of commercial, and it's when you've seen them all. But I saw him on Bill Maher, and I kind of liked him on Bill Maher.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, didn't you like shit on Bill Maher for like not watching his show or something?
Oh, I forget what. Yeah, he did. They were joking around, but
It was something like that.
But he was much more entertaining on Bill Maher than he is on his own show.
I was hoping that because Bill Maher has his podcast where he like just gets high as a kite and drinks, I believe. And I was hoping that Dr. Phil would like let loose a little bit and get a little stoned on the show. But then you say like he just kind of sat there while Bill Maher took the whole joint to the face or whatever.
I don't think he drank or smoked.
He's like a sober guy, isn't he?
Yeah, but Bill Maher did.
Speaking of sober, when's the last time that? Because okay, little backstory. You literally like never drink. Ever.
Almost never.
I mean, I've witnessed you drink maybe one time in my life.
So that's almost never.
And it's like almost as though you used to have like a problem with it. But I don't. Did you ever have a problem with alcohol, or is it just because? What is the reason that you never drank?
It's mostly because it'll trigger migraines in me sometimes. But I used to drink. Well, it depends what you call a lot. Much more than I do now.
Did you ever drink as a teen?
Oh no. Well, one time.
One time?
Yeah.
You ever went to like house parties or anything?
You're funny, right?
But Bob didn't really let loose until he was in college? Like you kind of followed the rules in high school, and then once you...
Well, that was back in another time.
Yeah, when you go to like get thrown under the prison for smoking a joint.
Yeah, well, that wasn't even thought of, much less done.
Dude, it's crazy to think how bad it was to smoke back then. Even like when we were younger, and now it's...
Well, people would go to prison for 20 years.
Yeah.
For virtually nothing.
Things have changed like so much, like you said, just in our lifetime. But on top of that, even more so with like since you were a kid, like now everybody smokes weed. It's more frowned upon to smoke a cigarette than it is to smoke a joint these days. People are talking about like legalizing mushrooms.
Oh yeah,
and like using
that's
those.
crazy.
I don't think that's crazy. Because it's been proven to help with like when you're like on your deathbed kind of thing.
It's all about abusing it.
It's hard to abuse like mushrooms. Like I can't imagine being addicted to mushrooms. That would be nuts. Your life would be a movie.
Well, yeah.
I watched this guy on YouTube who actually does drugs for like a living. Like he
does drugs for a living.
Basically, that's how I.
Who's paying him to do that?
He's probably a
I know.
YouTuber that makes money off of views and then
that too.
does drugs on his.
Well, he's like a scientist basically. He takes MDMA, shrooms, and all that. Does them. Lets you watch how, like the start of getting high, how it is during him being high, and then what the come down looks like.
That's the crazy thing is you can also, I don't know if you know about this whole internet thing, but you can go
I've heard of the internet.
You can go on the you can go on the internet and you can find some wild shit. Like if you want to watch some guy go through like smoking meth, being high on meth, and then coming down from meth, you could probably find that video, and it's quite interesting.
Yeah, it's sort of like going to a bar though.
I mean, it depends what kind of bar you're going to.
Exactly, 100%. So there's all kinds of information on the internet, and the accuracy of it is about the same as when you go to the bar and ask the person sitting next to you.
I think if you have common sense, you can kind of read between the lines of like bullshit on the internet and like legit information on the internet. Not to mention if you hear something crazy on the internet and you're like, oh, I don't know if this is true, then you can go and find multiple sources to either back up that information or prove it wrong, which is usually what I'm not like going and listening to a guy doing meth on YouTube and being like, oh, this is the gospel and he's speaking facts and just taking that for what he's saying. I'll like hear something crazy said on like a podcast or a video and then I'll look it up myself and get into it that way. But
you're talking more quieter than usual, Jim.
Fuck you. No, but how are the levels the same?
I fixed them, but yeah, me and Bob are good. You're over
I
here.
I used to be pretty loud, and you still are quiet, you little fucking.
No, my shit's loud as fuck. Maybe it's that condom you got.
Sound check?
What?
Sound check?
Yeah, producer. What's wrong with the sound? You should be able to manage. If I'm talking quieter, you should be able to fix it.
I just told you we were all the same, and you're talking quiet as fuck.
Yeah. Okay. So Bob, I told you we were gonna get into this. Can't you see something's up his ass? Something happened to Marquise before he got here. Clearly.
How is that?
He's got a dude.
What happened, Marquise?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's going on?
I don't know. I don't have.
How was work today?
It was good.
What happened there?
We got a food order, and then I prepped a whole bunch of shit, and then kind of chillaxes, you know.
So do you make mixed drinks at your work?
Huh? What?
You make mixed drinks?
I'm not. I cook now. I don't. But yes, I do make mixed drinks.
So you're not bartending now?
Nah, I got out of that.
Not fun?
I make more money now.
Yeah, the bar there, it's pretty slow on the shifts.
But I do work at the bar if needed to make like tips and stuff.
You do it all.
Basically, yes, I do it.
What's your best dish?
Ooh, that's like the whole house though, like the best dish from there, and everybody has a different opinion.
What do you think is the best thing they sell?
I mean, it's
Best thing
like
you make.
I like to. I mean, there's other shit that doesn't qualify as this, but I think it's more bar food.
But what?
I think. I mean, I'm gonna go simple with this, but the burgers slap. There's like quesadillas there that like the Reuben quesadilla. It's pretty fucking slap.
Sauerkraut on it?
No.
What is sauerkraut?
It's cabbage, but how can you make a Reuben?
That's more so
isn't it
like
cabbage?
the brisket tacos we were talking about, which has coleslaw on it.
If it's just cabbage, then why didn't you call it cabbage? instead of
Because it's
sauerkraut?
cabbage that has
Like shit
vinegar
in it to
and-
make it.
Oh, it's almost like it's not cabbage. It's
Aged.
actually more than just cabbage.
No, it's still cabbage, but it's been manipulated with spices and.
It's like if I said a hot dog is a bratwurst. It's not a hot dog.
No, it's not a hot dog.
Yeah, it's like a bratwurst and a bun and condiments.
Sauerkraut is a dish whose main ingredient is cabbage, but it has
Is it
other
more of a
ingredients.
side?
Yes, it's a side,
Um,
and it sucks. I hate sauerkraut.
you do?
Really?
Yes.
What's your least favorite food and your favorite food?
You're just messing with me now. aren't you?
No,
No,
like,
no. This is.
I know you don't like to enjoy the the good flavors.
What's your
that
favorite
exist in this
style
world.
of food?
I don't care about food.
What?
He has this problem where I don't know when
You don't
this
like your
started. 'Cause
jambalaya?
It wasn't always this way, but at least in my memory. But like, you will not allow yourself to enjoy
Bob, do you have a fucking
good
attitude?
food because because the price just gets in the way of you enjoying it.
100%.
But that's stupid. Because every now and then you gotta let yourself enjoy
Why?
good things. Because
What's your favorite
it
restaurant?
brings enjoyment.
Restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, why would I go to a restaurant?
Why wouldn't you?
Because
Sometimes
it
you
costs
gotta.
too damn much
Well,
money.
you gotta enjoy.
Every now and then
The-
you need to treat yourself with something. And you know that just as well as I do, Mr.
It's not about
ADHD.
the money and stuff. It's about enjoying the moment.
Well, I can enjoy the moment without spending $1 million at a restaurant.
That's
So what do you
nobody's saying
spend,
that you
what do you
can't
spend
find
most of your money on?
Bills.
It's not going to work with Bob. He just
Not your
he
car?
lives on the bottom of the gutters trying to skate by, but you don't have to because you could actually just go every now and then. It could be even like once every couple of months.
You could start
Okay.
a pot.
Okay,
And every
so
couple months.
I do that. I go to Carfagna's
Okay,
and
you go to a grocery store.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's not good, but it's still a grocery
Carfagna's
store.
is not just a grocery store.
I know they also sell
How about
wines
this?
and
What do you
liquors
catch
and
yourself eating the most?
Don't
throughout the
ask him
week?
that either because it's fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Well, there you go. It's probably his favorite food.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's just cheap.
Yeah, but like we're trying to get down to like what you enjoy, not what your wallet.
If you had an
likes.
unlimited spending spree, what's the first thing you would go out and eat?
I keep
I
trying to
wouldn't- I
ask him a
wouldn't buy
question
food.
and then you ask him a second question. Then, okay,
What's your question?
my question is, well, it started with asking you like what your favorite food is, but then
That didn't
we
work.
can get into this whole debate of how you don't allow yourself to enjoy these other foods.
It's like a question. I understand that's a normal question, and a normal person should be able to say. I mean, I guess like a dinner. What would be my favorite dinner?
what would be your last meal? How about that? Last meal, so you never have to worry about another bill. You can't
You
just
mean when I die before they execute
Oh
me?
my-
That kind of a last meal?
Before they put you down, when after they find the bodies that are under the house and they find out all of the atrocities that you've
Probably.
committed, go all out. It doesn't have to be one dish. It can be a large meal.
Probably an omelet with some grated cheese on top and a couple pieces of toast.
Okay, so that's your appetizer.
We got something out of them. We got something out of them.
No, it isn't the way my brain works. I don't think about it that way. I mean, I like food, but it's not like, oh my God. I mean, I can
But you have to
appreciate,
condition yourself to do that.
but it's better for me to not condition myself to do that because then I can put my
No, I'm
money.
saying you condition yourself to think of things in that way.
Oh,
of
yeah.
like,
Sure.
Yeah. So let's just like, step out of this conditioning for just a moment.
Okay.
So we can try to get to know who Bob is underneath that cold, hard shell.
You like a nice steak?
I mean, I guess a steak, sure, a steak.
Well, what's your last meal, Dad? So let's start with this omelette. You get an omelet.
I wouldn't. Then if
With
it's
gravy.
my last meal for real, I probably wouldn't go with the omelet.
Okay. Well, you can have multiple things.
Let's see. What would I have? I mean, there's a lot of. I like barbecue.
Dad, don't. Okay. So what? Okay. What
What are you-
barbecue
yeah, what
kinda
kind of bar-
dish would you have in as a part of your last meal? Like, do you like a pulled pork sandwich?
Pulled pork
or
sandwich with some
brisket?
nice, really
Pulled
good
pork?
coleslaw on it,
So
and a side of really good potato salad.
Stop by Caddy's Delight. You can get a nice fresh pork
And then
brisket from Friday.
the brisket's pretty good, but
How's the sauce?
It comes with coleslaw too.
How's
The
the
sauce is
cat's slaw actually.
I heard about the cat slaw. What's different about cat slaw?
good. We already told you on the podcast. We can't tell you.
We already told you we can't.
It's a secret recipe.
Yeah.
She like
It doesn't
puts-
have any cat in it,
She
does it?
puts like a little bit of her
Maybe a
hair
little
in
bit.
every dish. If you see her whole left arm is shaved. What's your dessert for your last meal? I'm not gonna let this go.
Dessert for the last meal. I mean, a nice piece of cheesecake, that might be good. That's a little special.
Cheesecake. That's not cheap.
No.
What kind of cheesecake though?
You can make it cheap.
What, American cheese?
Probably just a standard New York cheesecake.
You don't have to go to the Cheesecake Factory to get cheesecake.
I like to go a little. I've never been a huge fan.
Maybe,
of just
maybe
like
with
the
some
classic
mango, a little mango.
mango.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. What? That's like put a pineapple on your pizza. In my
I
opinion.
like that too.
Ooh.
I don't really approve.
Nah.
The more
That shit's gotta stay cold.
I've aged, I realized that I don't.
Maybe that last meal would be a deep dish Hawaiian pizza from Jets.
I thought I mean your classic pizza order is a barbecue chicken pizza from
Oh, those are
Papa
good.
John's.
That used to be, but
But
now
it's
there's
not
no
anymore.
close Papa John's, so we
And
switched
also
over
Papa
to
John's
Jets.
out of the picture now.
That's
How
so good from
do you
Jets.
feel about that?
What's up with that?
Well, he claims that they trapped him into saying the N-word on a like a conference call.
Yeah,
What?
It was if his
you know my feelings on these things.
Yeah, well, his version of the story is that like his investors or the people that he worked with to run the business had this like meeting over the phone, and practically, I mean, this is probably a little off, but he's practically saying that they were like, "All right, so what word wouldn't you say?" Like it was one of those
you get
things
trapped
where
like
they
that,
like
yes,
baited
but
him into
Why?
saying it.
But if you're a white person, you shouldn't ever say that word
Yeah,
anyway.
no, you
ever,
shouldn't.
no circumstance for that.
Yeah, but then like there's like people who have gotten fired for like singing a song, and then it was the reason I say that is I recently you saying that made me think of this video on Instagram. There was like this streamer dude, and he was like singing a J. Cole song. And then all of a sudden, like the N word came up, and he like rapped it, and then a millisecond after it left his mouth, he was like, "Fuck!" Like he like started like punching holes in his walls. He's like, "I never say that. I swear to God." He started losing it.
Yeah, and of course you should never say that. And at the same time,
Well, you say it all the time.
Fuck
I'm
you.
just kidding. No.
I hate this whole cancel culture thing.
Yeah, I think
It's maddening.
I
It
think
really is.
Everybody has to kind of admit that it's ridiculous at this point, and they've like beaten it to death at this point. And if somebody's actually going out and like trying to hurt people and do the wrong thing,
Well,
that's one thing. But like when people make an honest mistake and then like apologize and try to make it right, and then they're still like, "Nah, you have no life in my eyes. Like you can't do anything anymore."
Well, here's the thing that's crazy, that makes me mad, among the million other things that make me mad. But all these folks who are way locked in to canceling people. People are where they are now. Like in 30 years, things are going to be very different too, and they'll look back and say, how could you think this? How could you say that?
Yeah.
Or what people think of as just normal right now. And so this whole idea of the cancel culture folk thinking that they just know better, and they don't. They just don't.
Yeah, any time where you're like so set in your ways that you allow no like alternate ideas and to even consider, that's a good way to know that you're usually wrong.
Well,
Like when you're like, I'm definitely right 100,000%. Like nobody can convince me of anything else.
I have strong opinions about most everything, and I acknowledge I could be wrong, but my opinion is still strong.
Yeah, but you have to remain like open-minded about certain things.
Well, and the other thing is, would you like to be judged on your worst day,
No,
or with your body of work? It's just not. It's not fair.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's crazy because like getting somebody in so much trouble for something that they did like 20 years ago is like, it's just insane to me because
Or just having an opinion that is different, or just wanting to talk about something, have a discussion about different ways of looking at an issue.
yeah, that's the really wild shit.
Give me an issue, I'll argue either way. If you want.
I think it's fun to play devil's advocate on different.
As long as you're kind of authentic about it. I mean,
Yeah.
not just to mess with people and just to ruin their day.
No, not to ruin their day, but sometimes it's fun to have a little debate, and sometimes the obvious side to go with, it's already been picked, and it's fun to just kind of exercise that ability to like argue for a different point that you don't always believe in.
And to get outside of your comfort zone, to be willing to be offended.
Speaking of being outside of your comfort zone, I just got back from West Virginia, and
What are you saying?
it's a different kind of place out there.
No kidding.
It's first of all, I mean, I've been to West Virginia and then came back with stories a few times for this show, but like, so I don't want to repeat myself, but like, I would never want to have any kind of business in West Virginia because it's like a beautiful state and it's fun to like, have a good time in. And there's certain like little pockets of civilization where I'm sure it would do fine. But so much of West Virginia is just like woods and like towns that are half abandoned and like
There's a lot of poverty.
it's sad to see. I mean, there's like whole little. We were out there with my friend's grandma, and she like lived there most of her life, so she's able to be like, yeah, these people have lived there like their whole lives, and oh, these people used to live here, but then they had to move away, or oh, this person died, and like apparently like there's a pretty big meth problem out there, like. Meeting anybody my age or my friend's age apparently is like incredibly difficult because like they'll either be so far away from you, or when you do like meet somebody in your proximity, they're like addicted to meth or like in some other kind of fucked up situation, and it's wild. And it's crazy. We drove like for hours and hours this one day, just going to these different spots and like exploring different parts of West Virginia, and down like I would say 75% of the roads, if you look at the street signs, there's just bullet holes in them.
Jeez.
Like people will just like drive around like fucked up or whatever, and then just shoot their gun out their window. And there's just bullet holes and like speed limit signs and stop signs, and like some of them are like completely torn up.
Like just
don't take the stop sign.
oh, why not?
That's a fun time. I know some people who have like high street signs and shit.
Oh, that's different.
Well, it's still a federal crime, but
And you're in the middle of nowhere there. I mean,
yeah, that's the other thing. Like West Virginia, like hardly has laws. Like you never see police officers. You're in the
Don't tell that
woods.
to Bob.
People Bob doesn't want to see police officers.
That's true.
You got to watch out for Jonathan. But
I can't watch out for my cock.
and then it feels like you could, for better or worse, get away with really anything you'd like to. Because, I mean, for example, like my friend's grandpa like had a bad fall one time out front of their house in the holler, and their house is like 20-30 minutes away from the nearest like grocery store, and they called the ambulance, and the ambulance didn't get there for like 2 hours.
Jeez.
And by that time, like,
Yeah.
you know, things have turned. So you definitely feel like
I
you're in a-
amputated my leg already, you fuckers.
Yeah.
Well, you got to learn how to take care of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, and then like that's the other thing is like we go out there sometimes to like try and take care of the land that he has with his family, and like you leave for even a couple months, and then like the wilderness just starts taking it back. Like the amount of beehives and like wasps nests that we saw like since the last time being there, and like, you know, water lines are busted, and
How long has it been since you've been there?
I think we were there like maybe like 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And like, dude, I saw the biggest spiders that I've ever seen out there. We saw a huge wasp.
Bigger than the one in the basement.
That was fucked up. I don't even know if we talked
That was a
about this
cricket.
on- No, dude, this cricket was on roids or something. Like, I saw, even you were like, you sent the picture being like, what
Yeah,
kind
I
of
didn't,
bug is
I didn't
this?
know what it was, but
It looked fucking
we've got a
weird.
PhD entomologist in the family, so we can send all our bug pics there.
Yeah, we sent it out to see what was up, and
Props
this
to
thing
Joe.
was huge.
It was big.
The cricket was, and it was like on the wall like a spider would be.
It was the size of a small child,
Yeah, like a 6-year-old.
toddler. Yeah.
Probably could have ate a 6-year-old. I didn't like it, but it wasn't as bad as the mouse. The mouse that
The
attacked-
alleged mouse.
Oh, you're gonna say that it wasn't a real mouse?
I wasn't there. I don't know.
I
I
lost
have
my
caught
shit.
a few mouse here in the house.
Yeah, I mean,
I wish I could think of something good to do with them.
make a necklace. You used to joke around about that, or
Yeah,
sometimes you would chase my friends around the house with a dead mouse.
that was fun.
See, they would run and fall and scream. You used to also say that you wanted to make like a bracelet out of my baby teeth.
I do. I wish I had those.
You have a
That's different.
Those are
yeah
Spotty's teeth.
Spotty's teeth. Why do you have Spotty's teeth?
Well, some of them are Spotty's teeth. Some of them might be some of your teeth too.
Some of them are other strangers'
A
teeth.
random,
Just have a bucket of
random
teeth.
bucket of teeth.
That's, I mean, not everybody
has
can
that.
say they have that.
Most
Yeah.
people do, I think.
A bucket of teeth.
Or a bowl of them.
Yeah. See, like, if I found a bucket of teeth in some like abandoned house in West Virginia, I would think that somebody was like
Pulling people's teeth
melted or like murdered, and then their teeth were just the only thing remaining.
So my dad used to own this pig, and the story with that thing is the guy died in the house, and it was eating all the garbage and everything. So the garbage was gone though.
The pig died in the house?
No, the guy, the owner. And so he kept it as like a pet, in his house.
Yeah.
And the owner ended
It'll
up
eat
dying.
anything.
It was eating out of the garbage for a while, but there was no more garbage, so it started eating the remains of the body, and they didn't even know he was dead for like
I
weeks.
bet the pig ate the body first.
You think so?
Yeah. If I was a pig, that's what I would do. But no, like pigs will, if you can easily feed a body to a pig and they'll just start munching it like it's nothing. Like if we were talking about that too, like
Give me chills.
if you dumped a body in West Virginia, like it would not take that long until animals just started eating it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Well, when I go, maybe that's the best plan. That saves some money.
yeah,
Or sell it.
you're even being cheap. Like speaking of your death, you would like. Didn't you want to be like donated to like that one garden where they put like dead bodies in to fertilize it or something.
That would be
fine.
cool.
That would be fine.
I've heard about that.
Or,
that would be neat.
Or sell my
make, like,
body. I
they
wish you
put a
could sell
tree.
dead bodies.
Can't you?
No, they won't
To
let
like
you. do it.
Harvard or something? They like
No, you have to give it to them.
oh. Well, why do you care what money we make off of your corpse?
Because it just, for one, I don't really want to give it to somebody to cut up because
You don't want to be cut up?
I won't. I don't care. I'll be dead, but
I want to be frozen.
I don't want to be cut up by an asshole.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like,
I want to be cut up by
You
someone
might
who
get cut up by a
does it.
Joe or something.
Someone. Let's see. Who would I want to cut me up?
Oh, my God.
I could think of a couple answers. Maybe you could get turned into like the toppings of a pizza.
Well,
And then you could
I should
feed
I
that
should
to your
make a little
enemies?
addendum in my will, because didn't you want some bone?
I don't remember
Crushed
asking
bone
for your
for
bones.
tattoo.
Oh, you're using your ashes for a tattoo. Yeah,
You wanted some
you
of
can
that,
put,
didn't
you
you?
can put that
Or you
into.
can make some coffee.
You can put that would taste like shit.
You don't want that.
That's cheap coffee.
It's not coffee. You want some of those the crushed bones?
I mean, I think it'd be cool to. I was gonna get a tattoo inspired from you. Exercise extreme caution, and then you could use your ashes and put those into
It'd have to be dead first, though, or chop off
Yeah.
a bone.
So you'd have to start exercising less caution, and then we can get that tattoo quicker. But don't do that, because we want you around to complain about money spent and tell us to watch out for Jonathan and things
Well,
of that nature. But yeah, no, I mean, we had to fix a lawnmower in West Virginia, which was not ideal, but moonshine helped, and we just.
You don't like fixing lawnmowers?
Dude, well, we were like about to make dinner, and then you had to like go mow the lawn real quick, and he put the brake in, and then once he did that, the brake wouldn't release, and so we had to like flip it over on its back and take it apart and like figure out what was broken and how to fix it and blah blah blah.
I love
blah.
doing that shit. I don't know why, but
It wasn't bad, but like it was just funny because we were like. Apparently, what he likes to do, my friend, like if he breaks something, he'll fix it in his garage while getting like super fucked up, and then like by the time the night's over, you're fucked up and you fixed it, and you
a
get
big
to celebrate
celebration.
by getting more fucked up.
yeah.
I don't get all the energy in the getting fucked up.
It's just funny to fix a lawnmower while you're drunk off of moonshine.
Yeah.
Speaking of moonshine, I was gonna bring it here, but I didn't. I had left and forgot it. But
Along with the boxes?
I found we can't talk about the boxes. We have to keep that on the low,
Oh, okay.
kind of.
Yeah, what box?
I'm very eager to speak about it, but there's a
Are you
lot
going to
of
delete that?
no, it's fine.
Bleep it?
I mean, if people really, that's a wild looking plane. If people really pay attention to the show, then it's not hard to see what's going on.
Right.
But wink, wink. But yeah, I got this. We stopped at this place like at the top of a hill, like in the middle of nowhere, on the way back from West Virginia, and it's like this, locally famous or popular distillery. And they let you like taste test all these different like bourbons and moonshines and wines, like for free. You can walk in there and just get obliterated, and they don't even care. Like apparently, there's this one bartender lady that'll actually like do like reasonable like sips, so you can just taste it. But the guy that was helping us apparently did not follow that code and would just like give you full shot glasses, like to taste stuff. So we like tasted like a bunch of different moonshines.
How much is a bunch? 2?
We probably
Bunch. That's
tasted
like
like
four or
four or
five.
five different
Yeah.
moonshines. And they were half shot cups, but they were like filled. And then we ended up finding Cole was gonna get this moonshine, and I didn't think I was going to get one. And then at the last second, he pulls this thing out, and he was like, "You guys like frappuccinos?" And we were like, "Yeah." And it was like vanilla bean moonshine, and it tasted like a fucking milkshake. And
It doesn't sound like moonshine.
it was moonshine, like because they make it there. It's just like they flavor it there as well. Like they put all kinds of crap into it to make it.
So it's not like being made out in the woods. It's made in a distillery.
That's what always like confused me is I thought legitimate moonshine was like illegal shit that was made with ingredients that like
Just illegal
fuck
way.
you up in an illegal way.
Right.
But I learned that really all it is what like corn. Like you're making it with a different ingredient.
Whiskeys are made with corn too.
Well, maybe I'm wrong on that, but there's a certain ingredient you use that's kind of just like easier to make yourself and cheaper.
So-
and then also they used to say like any alcohol you were making during the Prohibition was moonshine, kind of, right?
Ask AI.
What is moonshine? Who the fuck? I don't know. I could ask AI, but
Now, what's different between Google and AI?
That's a good question. I mean, Google will just bring you to a website that has the answer
really
of your
search.
question, and like, you can. I'm not qualified to even answer that question, but you're getting the difference is you're getting an answer from an AI like software thing. Like it's answering your specific question. It's not
Going through
bringing
everything
you to
itself to
like
give
a
you an
source where you can find the information to answer your question. Like
Yeah.
it's like what's the difference then like from like finding the answer to a question in a book and like asking some guy. Like you're kind of it's like AI is some guy that you're asking, but they happen to know everything. I don't fucking know. It's very similar though. You can get different. You can also have AI create something for you.
Right.
So that's
the
another big difference. Is like with Google,
It's
you
more
can't-
about what it does as opposed to.
yeah, you can't tell Google to like write you a story about this, and that. What is moonshine? Moonshine refers to illegally produced or homemade distilled alcohol, typically made in small quantities without proper licensing or regulation. It is often associated with homemade spirits produced in rural areas or during the Prohibition era. See, I was pretty much right. It's just kind of illegal alcohol. But then I think
It gets you so fucked up.
But I think that's not even it though. Like I thought the same thing, but I think we're getting confused with like bad moonshine because if you, what is it, ethanol? There's a certain way where if you make moonshine wrong, it'll like make you blind, and I think that's why like it gets confusing because this is pretty much saying moonshine is just illegally made alcohol,
Right.
But I know for a fact there's a recipe that like makes moonshine, quote unquote, different from like other kinds of alcohols. Because there's a way where when you're making moonshine, if you do some step wrong, it'll make you blind or something like that. That's a thing.
Okay.
You're looking at me like I'm crazy. And that's why moonshine specifically used to be illegal, I think, or making it on your own. I don't know, because it's like meth. If you fuck up, you'll blow your house up. So they don't want people fucking up and then making a bunch of people blind. Have you heard of like when you can get like a high proof moonshine, and if you light it on fire, it should burn blue, but if it burns yellow, that means it's bad moonshine.
Don't know that.
You're looking at me like I'm crazy, but I remember being told this, so I think I'm
clearly,
right.
You've done your homework.
But anyway, I got this fucking chocolate moonshine, and it's so good. I've already drank like most of the whole thing. And it's not like a huge bottle or anything. It's only 40 proof, but it's so good. You just like sometimes I'll literally just have a sweet tooth and want to taste it. But anyway, like they just put a bunch of fucking chocolate into it. I don't know how they made it so good, but like you can literally have to shake it up because at the bottom like a bunch of like chocolate shit will just collect and you have to shake it up and then it turns into a fucking milkshake. But it's weird because when you shake it up, it like coats the inside of the bottle. And so like the whole thing is like brown. And then when you leave it sitting there, it looks kind of like, it doesn't look great because there's like specks of chocolate all around
Separates out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't like separate. Like it doesn't get like.
Do you think it'd be different if you kept it cool?
I do keep it cool. Dude, it'd be fucking disgusting if I kept it out. Yeah, it's in the fridge. But this shit's amazing. There was a 3-legged dog there at the Moonshine Distillery,
course
and
there
like a
was.
I've
chicken
had a
coop.
3-legged cat.
In a chicken coop.
And a
Not in the chicken coop. There was
And a
also a chicken coop,
Okay.
like roosters doing their thing. They don't have cutwaters in West Virginia. I tried so hard to find them, and they just like don't have them anywhere.
Oh yeah,
I
we
even
make
went to
this
a
shit
Sheetz.
our own.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
They even have sheets out there though.
Well, the place we stayed is far away from anything like a Sheetz. But if you drive like 30 minutes away from that, there's like a town. I think it's like Summersville or something, and they have a Sheetz there. But
How do you think they come up with the names of towns and shit?
I always wonder that. I don't know. Some guy probably just like.
It's often people's names who
I
have
wonder
the land.
how
or
many Martin Luther King boulevards are there?
More than 10.
There's a lot. So I think that like people definitely start running out of ideas, and I think it's weird that like definitely like street names get repeated all the time. How does that not like mix up GPS? Like there's
Different city.
yeah, but like when you look up a certain street, you're not getting like a bunch of different options. Usually, it's usually like just a few, but there's definitely a lot of streets that are named that same thing. There's a freaking gay street by Polaris. I used to always, when I was a kid, I used
By
to think
Polaris?
that was yeah. There's like
There's a gay street downtown.
there's also a gay street by like Polaris and like Powell and shit.
There's one that's called Medic or Medic or something like that, and it's spelled MEDICK.
Yeah.
Yeah, streets are weird.
Nap time.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, West Virginia was interesting. We went to like this little resort place on top of like a.
Resort.
They called it a resort, but I think it's called a resort because it's like during the winter time people will go there like ski and snowboard and shit.
Oh, it's like that resort. Okay.
But it was just cool because it was. I never know what to call them. They're like hills because they're not mountains, but they're like really fucking tall and big.
Big mound.
Yeah, but it's like super high up. But I wouldn't call it a mountain. But I guess it's just a hill. What, Dad?
Hills lead into mountains.
Not these ones. What do you mean? Like this? I'm talking like this town was built on top of a hill, just by itself, and then it goes down. Am I explaining like topography to you? Like it was, like it goes up and then goes back down. Like
So a
there's
hill
no
is-
mountains around.
Hill
But
is
maybe
higher than
no, a hill is lower than a mountain. But this thing doesn't feel. It feels too big to be a hill. What's in between a hill and a mountain?
A sunny side.
And nothing. So I guess it's just a big hill. But it feels like when I think of hill, I think of like some small shit you could walk up.
You can walk up a mountain.
Yeah, but it's not small.
True. So hills are smaller than mountains.
I believe so, but maybe these things are mountains and I'm just not giving them the credit
There's
that they
big
deserve.
Mountains, little mountains, big hills, little hills.
Yeah, whatever. Odessa was cool, by the way. I threw up like 4 times. It wasn't fun. I hadn't ate enough, and then I ate like a $10 4-slice Donato's pizza, like a personal pizza from Donato's.
I
$10,
blacked out
which
that
is
night.
actually for stadium prices. That's actually not horrible.
No.
It was either like 4 or 6 slices, and dude, it was so fucked up because this is like a rave. Like it's a more mild, like pop kind of rave, and there's more seats than there was standing. But still, it's a rave, and people do rave stuff there. And they stopped selling water or any drinks, like
That's horrible.
halfway through.
Because in a rave, people are
Why?
getting fucked up.
Because I think their original idea is they don't want people drinking alcohol past the halfway
That
limit.
makes sense.
But they also closed everything else, like the places that sold like waters and like Powerades and shit. Like it all closed, and like not like late into the night, like halfway point. So
What was the venue? Nationwide?
BYOW. Bring
was-
your own water.
I think Nationwide. What's the other one?
The Shot?
I think it was a Shot.
Was it on campus or downtown?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Jesus.
But yeah, it was fucked up because I threw up and I'm
Where'd
like
you throw up?
in the bathroom.
There?
No, in the fucking in Kroger's down the street. Nice. Yeah, no, the bathroom there. Which
Were there a lot of people throwing up?
I fell for that.
Probably. I mean, it's a fucking.
Did you throw up in the urinal?
No, that would be wild. I've only thrown up in like a public place like one time. Like, but when I say public, like, I've thrown up in bathrooms at
on
public
the freeway
places before. Yeah, that was on like the exit. But I'm saying like, I would be so embarrassed if I had to throw up like anywhere other than in a stall. So I didn't throw up in the urinal or on the people's heads in front of me. I just threw up in the stall, which was still embarrassing because you have to like try and make it quiet.
Yeah, that's
but
not
possible. You can't do it and like fucking.
No, I definitely could not do that.
No, yeah, you're a loud vomiter, but yeah, and then like afterwards, I'm like, I need water or like some sort of drink, and everything's closed. I'm literally trying to like open up not a vending machine, but like a cooler. I'm trying to open it and it's locked, and I'm like checking all of them. I didn't even care if there was somebody to like buy it off of. I would have found somebody to give money to, but I was like, I'm taking a fucking drink, and they're all locked up. And then I like did like a lap around the whole thing, just trying to find somebody to get a drink off of. And then eventually I found this janitor guy.
Don't they have water fountains?
No. Well, they had like a water, like, like the soda machine, but I like had to hold my head underneath the water.
I mean, like a drinking fountain.
They didn't, not on the level that I was on. They had those things where you could fill up a water bottle, but like that's not ideal for trying to drink out of. Like, have you ever seen those things? It's got like the outline of a water bottle and then you put it underneath.
Yeah.
No, because I that's another phenomena that is.
You need to go out in public.
Yeah.
But yeah. So they had like
they usually have more water fountains, and then above it you can put your water bottle.
I know, but just the whole idea of water bottles is crazy to me.
What?
Why? You have them right now. Are you talking about like a water bottle you keep?
Just the idea that you need to take a water with you when you go. When I was growing up.
Okay, I'll give you some Molly, and then you can tell me how much you'd like some water.
Fair enough. I'm just saying the whole idea of, you know how you see everybody carrying water bottles?
What about like bicyclists?
This is an old man thing to say, but when we were growing up, if you got thirsty, then you go home and get a drink of water. You didn't carry a fucking water bottle with you.
That was back when people like rode horses.
Can we please look up when water bottles were invented?
I mean, dude, they were definitely around when you were around.
No, they were not.
I don't get this whole stance.
Nobody did that.
A water bottle? Are you saying specifically like a plastic water bottle or like
nobody carried around water with them while they were doing their
Well,
business.
also
You go to the mall and everybody's carrying a bottle of water.
I mean, I don't do that.
I know, but do you know how you
Yes.
And everywhere you go.
Well, also back in your day, like people thought that you needed like 9 servings of butter a day. Like,
what about water? Like,
I don't think they knew how important water was.
No, that did not exist.
Well, it was invented and made available in 1767 in America.
He'll make the argument that like
you were
only
born
rich
in the
They were not
1700s?
common until I think probably the 80s is when they started being more common. It was when they first came out, that was like, we laughed at that shit because it was like, who would pay money for water? Water was like free.
I mean, I guess I understand, like, but
I still don't understand.
And how much was gas
what about when you're going on a
when you were
fucking
younger?
like a long walk or like a hike? Like
You get a drink of water when you come home.
Fuck, you're gone for 3
so,
days.
So when I was in Colorado, I just get water at the beginning and the
You would
end.
have taken a canteen of water.
What the fuck? Then all these white girls have canteens of water.
Not like this kind. This is like old cowboy canteen.
Cowboy canteen.
Yeah, look it up.
I just pissed in my own mouth.
Dude, can you drink your own piss, Dad?
You could.
How long could you last drinking like off of your own
That
piss?
shit would make you so dehydrated, probably like
Depends.
24 hours.
It depends.
Sometimes I'll be like after drinking and your pee's like completely clear. I'm like, I could drink the fuck out of this.
It's so warm.
Ew. It's so warm. It's so warm.
It's probably not a good idea. It's waste, but it's clean waste. But it is waste.
Do you think like drinking dehydrated urine versus drinking like super like clear urine? Do you think you like one's better or worse
Survive
for you?
longer.
Well, you don't want to. Okay, number one, unless the situation is dire, I'd be signing up for the don't drink your piss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people believe that like drinking your piss is the way to like enhance your soul and like get more in tune
Same
with
with
your.
blood.
Do they eat a shit sandwich too?
They
for
probably do.
clarity?
They probably
Yeah.
do.
I'm gonna give a hard pass.
I'm not agreeing with those
Okay.
folks, but I
I'd
would
like
love to see you
I'd like to
debate
hear
them.
one on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a psychic on soon. I reached
You know,
out.
I'm going to my psychic.
You have a psychic?
I have the best psychic.
Let her on, because mom has one and you have one, and I'll pick yours.
Mine is like 79.
Okay, I'm not gonna beat her up. Like,
No,
what?
I know. She's not going to come
Why?
because she's not from this area.
Where's she from? Fucking
You
gates
get
of
on the
hell.
phone.
No, go in person.
What,
Well, how the
why?
fuck?
Why won't you come on the show?
You walk through Narnia and then you're there.
Probably. Where
Pretty old.
does she have like a hut in the woods or like?
Can we go to her?
Yeah, like why won't you come on the show?
I don't know. I'll ask her when I go.
All right, because then I'm gonna have to go to mom's psychic, and she wants me to go to that psychic.
Go.
You have a
Oh.
psychic?
Yeah.
How much do you like? How into that are you? How do you believe it?
I have no objective reason to believe it. So there's no
But it makes you feel
there's
good.
no
and
scientific.
your pee tingles when it happens, so you do it.
No. I'll give you a full report when I return.
You've been before though, haven't you?
Twice.
Yeah. So what? How do you feel about it?
Fascinated.
Why are you fascinated?
Because
Real
she's-
question.
He can poop.
She was
better.
able to say things that were detailed that she had no way of knowing.
Oh fuck.
Give me a broad example, like something that you doesn't spill your beans, but it explains what you're saying. Like, because my theory is like it seems like they could just get away with saying like general type things, like you making assumptions based on how you like your age and your like what you do for a living.
I'm sure there are
Did she tell you
lots
when you
that
were
do
gonna
that. I
die?
can't. I'm not here to say psychics are real.
What?
But I will say
What makes you pay for one and go to one for a third time?
You know, it's funny when you hear yourself saying these things out loud. You sound like an idiot.
No,
But
I'm not trying to make you feel like an idiot.
no,
I'm just
I know.
curious.
I'm thinking because anybody who goes to a psychic that they like will say, "Yeah, all the other ones are crazy, but mine is the real deal."
Yeah,
So
some are pretty rough. I was researching.
some are pretty. Some are pretty rough,
I was researching to get one on the show, and I found some that are.
shaky.
I mean, they claim to do they're like I help the police find, like solve crimes. And,
Oh shit.
Well, and sometimes that happens. So you know, there are things in life that happen that we don't have a reason for why they happen. That doesn't mean there isn't a reason. It's just that we don't know what that reason is.
so, what is your reason for going to a psychic for the third time? I ask for the fourth time.
Okay. And I'm not going to give you an answer that's going to satisfy you, but here's the answer. So I hadn't seen this psychic for like 35 years, maybe 40.
And somehow she knew it had been 35 years since I had been there.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
But she had been on my mind lately, and almost in an intrusive way. And so I thought, okay, I'm just going to quit fighting this, and I'm going to try and see if I could find her. So I tracked her down and found her and made an appointment.
And so she was like, "I know you've been
And?
thinking about me."
Because for some reason, I was thinking about her a lot.
Oh, so she didn't even say anything
No.
that, like, tapped into these feelings. You're literally saying,
It-
I thought about her a lot, so why not?
And it wasn't consciously thinking about her, just her name kept popping into my head.
Interesting.
So It'll be very interesting to see what she has to say.
Yeah, ask her if she'll come on the podcast.
Yeah.
I know.
Or ask her if she has any other like colleagues that could come on the podcast.
I will.
Because I'm trying to beat my stripper episode, and we need another banger guest. And you'll have to come on for the sequel of that because
I have questions for Kat.
I heard that you'd like to be a part of the next interview portion.
I do have questions for her.
Okay.
I'd be curious to hear her answers.
I mean, it was a fun episode to do.
It was a very fun episode to see.
But I just had questions that kept like coming out of me where I was like,
so to speak.
well, I want to have more guests on that I like genuinely want to learn about, if that makes sense. Like, not that the guests we've had on in the past frequently are not like that, where I do want to learn about them, but I'm saying like where the question just kind of come out naturally, where it's like something I don't know a lot about or something that I've been interested in or blah, blah, blah. And I feel like a psychic I could ask questions to all day. And then also we could get like a reading or some type of shit. Does yours use like the tarot cards?
No, she's astrology.
Astrology. Okay. Well, I have a splitting headache, and I'm probably going to end this episode. Could you do me a huge favor, Dad?
What?
Could you grab me like a water? Like 2 waters? Fine, I'll do it.
Hop out. Just hover over and fly to get you a water.
There.
Or the wings there.
They're really good. They're smoked.
You need sauce.
No
You
sauce?
only ate you took a bite. I saw
I had
what you
3.
left.
I had a wing.
You told me to get him 3 wings and only took a bite of one and left it.
Yeah, and then I had one the
Bring 'em
time
home to
before
Daddy.
that.
Okay, I'll bring him home to daddy.
They're smoked. It's not if you like
got a
smoked
smoker
wings,
out
Busted
back?
my balls.
you need your balls busted.
So what do you
They
have
get busted
left?
all the time.
Wake your ass up,
Oh,
bitch.
no.
Nah, yes,
Why would you do
yes,
that? No, I
yes.
have to leave.
No, wake your ass up
I have
real
to-
quick.
Dude, someone is
Take a
waiting
nibble.
For me to pick them up.
Take a nibble.
I'll
What do you
take a
think?
nibble.
What do you think? It's gonna get you drunk or something?
Oh, this is not pretty.
This is important.
This is not pretty.
You know what importance is in life?
Yes, I do, and I'll tell you that what you're concerned about is far from important.
Oh my God,
Leaving
this is
someone-
not good. This is not
This
good.
is not your girlfriend waiting for her at her house, waiting for you at her house.
This
This
is-
someone trapped at a fucking.
Why'd you leave her somewhere?
I can't with your mindset.
I know what this is, and I've
Yes,
seen
you're
this
gonna take a
before.
nibble.
Oh, this is not good.
So this is the 2023 spicy chip challenge, and I don't know. Maybe this will like give us some false sense of confidence, but something tells me that they chilled out a little bit. I didn't see any of like the warnings posted on the windows or anything. But every one of these that I've ever had has been god awful.
They get hotter and hotter.
It's really
Extreme
fucked
heat.
up.
When you did this last year, I know how much you love heat.
Careful.
And I've never seen you and everybody who did it, except for who was it that was here who just deadpanned it?
I mean, he forced himself to do that. He told me later he was in massive amounts of pain, and we need to have him back on soon. That was Jack.
Jack.
Take
Yeah.
a whiff at least.
It's
Whoa.
it's the 2023 one chip challenge.
Whiff.
It smells fucked. It's
I'm not
Carolina.
doing this.
It's Carolina Reaper and Naga Viper pepper.
I'm going for it. My mouth is watering.
Don't fall prey to the Reaper. It says.
Can I go?
I mean, I suppose. I didn't, dude.
What?
How bad is it?
It's instant.
These things are so fucked. Dude, look
Nothing
at
you
it.
do stops it, does it?
Blackness.
Remember we had ice cream sandwiches last time.
I know, and I don't have any ice cream sandwiches.
Take a
Oh
nibble.
no.
I took a way bigger bite
Took like a tiny ass.
I know, dude.
piece. That didn't even fucking count.
I'm going to do this for
I wanna
as
get
long
a-
as I can.
Oh,
Take a nibble, since mine didn't count.
you take a nibble. Here's my nibble right here.
I'm gonna throw up. It's bad, dude.
Oh my. Oh. Yeah, no. Oh,
It's not good for podcasting.
Ketchup.
oh, that's bad. I took the tiniest ass piece, and that's horrible.
Why do you think I went so small, dude?
Oh man,
It's so
Marquise
hot.
just took running off.
It's bad for podcast.
Look at Marquise. What do you got?
No! It's so hot.
Yeah, I'm hiccuping.
You can't even talk after this.
Acidity and ketchup kills it.
I remember last time. Last time you were squirting ketchup in your mouth.
I'm telling you, everybody looks at me crazy, but ketchup really is the best.
How do you?
It's so hot, dude.
Oh man.
I've had the hottest hot sauces on planet Earth. Nothing compares to this chip.
Is this hotter than the last one?
It's actually not as bad, but it's really bad still.
How much of that?
One time I touched my dick like after eating this. It was bad. Oh, dude, it hurt.
You touched your dick. And what happened?
I took a piss. I took a piss.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I took a piss, and then like 5 minutes later, I felt my balls like burning, and then I had to take a shower.
I'm here to tell you, it's really unbelievably hot.
It doesn't stop, dude. The second,
No, it's
Eat ketchup.
yeah, it's the throat, everything. My tongue is like burning. Why did I even
think
do
we
that?
have-
I know that was a stupid thing to do.
it doesn't fuck your shits up though.
And
Oh, that's good.
that
to
was
know.
great.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak.
So you want another bite?
No.
Just one. How about you, Hooli?
I finally got it to die down,
Yeah, it's
but I really have to go. I love you guys. Thanks for watching, as always. Bob Scheuneman on the podcast. Julian's about to go touch his wiener again.
what are you doing there, Hooli?
But
What's he got? What's he eating?
I love you guys.
What are you eating, Hooli?
I gotta go.
Are you eating my
Ciao!
pasta?
I have a theory. I thought this was getting my help.
You got no microphone in front of you, so. Well, there goes my dinner.
It's not helping. Spaghetti.
Tasty? I guess I'll be having peanut butter and jelly tonight.
I'm not eating all of it. Bob makes the best spaghetti I've ever had. I gotta go. This
Did you
episode
a Scheuneman belt?
77. I don't know. Bye. Love you.
Bye, ciao.
It's pretty fucking hot. And now I've got no pasta at all. Peace out.